Alright everyone, Genome here. Just gonna take you up to part 2 of my lovely ride through West Virginia today. On a glorious, glorious day. Still screwing the stupid mic. But I tell you, if you were gonna make a template for a nice day to ride, I'm not sure how much better you could get than this one, other than my riding on these roads. The weather is perfect. It's probably mid to upper 70s. Flawless, clear skies. If I can just get some open road in front of me, how much better life can be. Ah, the old Toyota plant. I spent some time in there putting motors together. But yeah, this is just the most perfect day for riding. And unfortunately, I don't have much time to do it. So it won't be a real long ride. Well, let's talk about something new today. Let's talk about my first motorcycle. Any motorcycle, but my first motorcycle. So, this is some of the footage I lost the other day because the sound was so bad. But my motorcycle journey started at the tender age of 16. On the heels of wrecking my first car, which I did in a little under 2 months, somehow. After a bit of time walking around, and I think I might have to take the bus to school a few times, I was really tired of it. You get a little taste of freedom and you don't want to go back. So, I somehow got in my mind that, because vehicles were pretty expensive, you know, it's going to be hard for me to afford a vehicle. I was working on Long John Silver's at the time, part-time, you know, going to school at the same time, high school. Slow down here. I got in my mind that, hey, maybe a moped would be a perfect way, cheap way for me to get back on the road and regain my freedom. So I started looking around for a moped. Found one, went out there, took it for a test ride, and, you know, of course, when you're young, you want to buy the first thing you go out and look at. So I was going to buy this thing. I think it was like $400. I didn't have quite that much. I think I had $350, and the seller would not work on the price with me at all. So maybe it was a lucky thing. Actually, I'm very glad that happened. So I went home disappointed and kept looking around. I think I was looking at Motorcyclist magazine back then. So looking through Motorcyclist magazine, and I happened upon a Honda CM400 for $650. Whoa. I think it was 82 or 3. So, okay, I'll go look at that. My mom was very much against it, but my uncle talked her into it, actually, of all people. He's a dirt bike rider of old and all. He's like, well, here's the deal. You may be afraid of the power getting him in trouble, but he needs to have the power to get out of trouble if something comes up. I guess I really can't argue with that. Around the city, most of the time, the scooter probably gets you out of harm's way fast enough, but not always, maybe. I don't know. In any case, it worked. My mom let me go out and look at it. So, the owner did come down in price a little bit, $600. Now, I didn't have that much cash. I only had like $350. I was between paychecks. But he worked out with me. I guess he liked me or whatever. So he worked it out with me that I could pay half down and then make payments. And I couldn't get the bike when I paid it off. So we shook hands and did it. My parents were scared to death he was going to steal my money, but you can't talk sense into a teenager, so I went in and did it. So I'm saving up my paychecks. I get paid every 2 weeks, of course. It seems like forever. So I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 more paychecks, or I think it was 2 more paychecks. And I finally could go buy this thing. Hey, we can open it up some. So, save up the money, go back and get it. Now, I don't know how to ride the damn thing. I've never really ridden anything other than maybe a dirt bike a few times before, but I never really got out of first or second gear, so. We grew up mostly, I mean, I wasn't around them, you know. So, I think my dad rode it home, as I recall. And so, over the next couple of weeks, I teach myself how to ride the damn thing in this parking lot. There's like a dental practice right next to our house. So, after they close down at night, I'd go over there and practice going through first and second gear over and over and over, and just learn how to ride it. So, after like 2 weeks of this, I'm like chomping at the bit. I need to go to work. And I'm like, Mom, can I please go? Can I please go? Let me go. I'm good. I'm good. I'd never really ridden anywhere. She didn't even let me around the neighborhood with it. So she finally released me. She says, well, practice around the neighborhood for like, 30 minutes after you go to work. So I did. Actually got up to third gear once. Almost bogged it down. But so I finally just jumped on the bike and went to work. And don't you know it, right as I'm turning in, I'm still on the main road. Hopefully this bike is not picking up too much bad sound here. Sorry. I dumped it. Jumped it, turning in slow. Everyone's gonna do it. And so I had to muscle that thing up. I didn't know how to pick up a bike back then, so I had to muscle it up my scrawny ass. But I finally got back up, and I think I dropped it again after that. And after that, it was on. I rode everywhere. Right, this thing is really annoying me. Let's tuck it over there. After that, it was my only vehicle for, I think I had that bike for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I can't exactly remember. And I rode it everywhere. I got some leather saddlebags for it. I didn't have any gear. I had this old used helmet we found in our garage when we moved into this place we were renting. And I finally bought another one later on, but that's another story. So, I go everywhere on this bike. You know, your teenager, you drive everywhere. Gas was cheap back then, and heck, that thing was cheap on gas. I rode the piss out of that thing. There was like 2 other motorcyclists at the high school I went to, but we didn't really talk to each other. We were from different strata of society. I had an old bike, and they had sport bikes. An old cruiser style bike. But I thought it was pretty cool looking. I mean, as far as the cruiser looked like a small bike, it looked good to me. It was the like burgundy with gold, 2-tone paint. Had a sissy bar in the back. I took it off, but the big banana seat was comfortable. And it surely wasn't no speed demon. It was definitely fast enough for what I needed it for. Probably I couldn't think of much of a better starter bike for anyone. You can't really get into too much trouble with it, but it does everything you ask of it. And I rode the dog piss out of the thing. I was putting 10, 12,000 miles a year in that thing easily. Maybe more. We lived pretty far away from school. And I had to commute to work and all that too. So I was driving a lot, riding a lot. Of course, none of my other friends had motorcycles, so it was all lone wolf stuff. I'd ride to the beach a lot. But, CM400. Like I said, didn't have any gear. I remember the first year I had it, because I bought it around the summertime, and it was starting to get winter, and even in Florida, it gets a little bit chilly during the winter, you know, 50s and 40s in the morning when you're going to school. I'm sitting there wearing like a windbreaker or something. So Mom gets me a jacket, a nice suede, heavy jacket for riding. Of course, she couldn't give it to me until Christmas. So I froze, and I learned the age-old trick of speeding up. They go really fast in the cold and slowing it way down. It tricks your body to think you're actually warmer for like a mile or two, and then you have to do it again. Probably hasten pneumonia that way, but whatever. I survived, but I was always getting wet. You know, spring and early summer in Florida, it rains on you every day at 3 o'clock, right when school is getting out. So my bags were always soaked. My helmet wouldn't fit in my locker, so I had to lug it around in school with me all day. I had a full face helmet. It always smelled like a wet dog, so a few times I left it strapped outside, it would get filled with water because of the rain. So yeah, it was not the most convenient thing in the world. And I rode the dog piss out of that dog, or that bike. Barely did any maintenance to it. I change the oil every now and then. I'm not even sure if I changed the filter. I can't remember doing it. Hey, there's it's like a mini stork right there, a cowbird. But it didn't do. I had to replace a clutch cable, battery. My chain broke one time. I didn't lube it enough. And we lived on a dirt road for a long time. So, I'll cruise for a second here. Everyone's going like so slow today. I don't get this. Sorry, hands going a little numb there. Another gift of working in production factory. Like the onset of carpal tunnel or something. But, oh my gosh, what is this person doing? 35 miles per hour out here. I'm gonna go up here and turn around anyway, so. So anyway, I rode that bike not going tomorrow and didn't take care of it, and it still just ran. You couldn't kill that thing. So I wound up selling that bike. I'm getting in front of that truck, that's for sure. So I wound up selling that bike and buying my dad's bike. You know, funny thing about that. So my mom was definitely against me getting a motorcycle, right? She's scared to death I was going to kill myself. And after my previous driving escapades, I can't say I blame her too much. But, you know, we're living in the city. I still managed to survive. So I'd say 2 or 3 months after I got my motorcycle, my mom was asking me about it somewhat, and I'm like, you want me to show you how to ride it or something like that? So I went out and kind of showed her the basics, you know, how to change gears, she'd already taught me how to drive stick shift. She knew the clutch wasn't a problem for her. And lo and behold, the person who really didn't want me to have the motorcycle friggin' got hooked in a hurry. And she went out and got herself a Honda Shadow. I can't remember if it was a 500 or if they had a 700 back then. I think it was a 500. Pretty cool looking bike. Kind of candy apple red, but chopper style. And then my dad got one too. He got himself a Suzuki Madura.
You're one ugly mother.
And, well, I mean, we didn't really ride together. You know, teenagers don't ride with their parents' stuff, which is a shame. I really should have. You know, their bikes would have blown me away. Getting on the highway. I didn't do too much highway riding. But, so, we're a motorcycle family now, right? Well, eventually, I just wanted something bigger. My dad was going to get a bigger Madura. He found like a 1200 monster bike back then, Madura. And he's going to get rid of his, so I bought it from him. I saved up a few bucks and just bought it from him. Actually, I don't know if I ever took him any money. I can't remember if he did or not. But, so I sold my CM400 with a longing in my heart when it left, but I sold it. It was still running, much as I beat that thing up. And I bought my dad's bike. So my next bike was a Suzuki Madura. I think it was a 700 or a 750. It had a weird size. But it was a big upgrade in a lot of different ways to the CM. I didn't have it nearly as long, but you know, it was hydraulic everything, hydraulic clutch, shaft drive, so almost no maintenance. Liquid cooled, the old one was air cooled, so it wasn't a problem in Orlando traffic. Had gobs of power, at least to me back then. It had an interesting look. Now it was painted this awful green or like cream color. My dad kind of painted it. They put these like weird, I don't know, decals on there, so it wasn't that cool to look at paint-wise, but I thought the bike was pretty cool. Look-wise, had the built-in sissy bar like it did back in the early mid-'80s. It was a fun bike. I rode that one a lot too. Much bigger, but I want to get hit by a car with that one. Got T-boned. And I don't know, I stopped riding after that basically until a few years ago. I mean, I rode other bikes sporadically in between, but never owned another one. But I don't, it wasn't that I was like scared of it or anything at that point. I think I just got tired of it. I spent almost, 3 years with a motorcycle as my only vehicle. And for those of you who've ever done that, you know what a pain in the butt it is. I mean, yes, it's nice when you're commuting to work and when things are perfect, but, you know, it's not always perfect. You got rain, you got the elements. It's not convenient to go shopping. Something small as going shopping, you know. It's just a pain in the butt sometimes. So after that, I got to a car and didn't really look back for 20 years. 20, more than that, actually, like 22 years. But I'm thankfully back in the saddle again. Maybe my midlife crisis kicked in, I don't know. But picked up my last bike, which is a Suzuki C50. Had that for about 2 years. I bought it really good price. I bought cash. It was like $2,600. Had like 4,900 miles on it. It was like basically brand new. And I rode the dickens out of that bike for about 2 years. And I decided I wanted to go on some longer trips. So I started hunting up older Goldwings and other touring bikes. And then I happened across this bike. It's a Harley Davidson Electro Guide Ultra Classic for a heck of a good price. 36,000 miles on this thing. Now, I don't know if it's rolled over. I tend to believe that maybe it has. But you don't really hear any piston slap or anything. This bike, so I'm not sure. If it is, maybe it's been rebuilt. The dealer I bought it from didn't know. But everything works, and it's just in perfect condition, really. It's got everything. Got the tour pack on there. I've already done some work to it. You might have seen my videos a little bit earlier. I put windshield on, new windshield. It was getting pretty old and yellowed. And I took the old whip antennas off and put the new shorter ones on there. Not too many other changes I want to make. I do want to put a quick dismount kit for the touring pack in the back, so I can just take that off when I'm around town, you know. I mean, it doesn't really serve much purpose back there, but it's nice having all this room, man. I can carry all my rain gear, you know, change of clothes, you know, just running around town on or whatever. You know, I can run out and get a little bit of groceries if I'm already out and about. It's no big deal then. I put my helmet in the trunk, as it were. I don't have to carry it around with me. And I got to slow down. I'm going into Buffalo here. It's so convenient. Now, this bike was really meant for eating up the miles, and boy, does it ever eat them up in comfort. That was the main reason I got this thing. I want to take a cross-country trip, maybe this year, in fact. We're talking about maybe in September doing a motorcycle camping / cross-country trip. Probably try to make it so I can see some old Army buddies on the way. They're stationed all over. And I actually talked to another motovlogger recently about meeting up with him. I believe he's in Wyoming or Nebraska, one of those two. So go out there and enjoy those nice straight long roads. But yeah, we're ready, man, to take a nice long cross-country trip. So I really wanted to get a big touring bike. I'm older now. I don't care about speed and all that much. I'd just rather have comfort and utility. But I love this freaking bike. It has everything I want. And like I said, I'm pretty happy. I don't think I traded anything newer right now. I don't see a need. My wife makes fun of it because she's still got a tape player on it. But hell, I dug up some of my old mixtapes I still had for some reason. So it's perfect. This is Old Town Buffalo here. There's the old Food King. There's the hub of culture around here, the Stokes grocery store. Actually, technically, it's the high school up here, but Stokes is where you go to catch up on the gossip. So, we'll go ahead and I guess wrap it up there. But yeah, that was my first motorcycle experience and how I got started in riding. So, stay tuned. There'll be plenty more of this content to come up here in the near future. And watch out for all my other video stuff because I got a lot of things going on. So anyway, I'll cut out for now. Until next time, this is Genome out.